Welcome everyone to our Meet the Artist series. This is one of many new initiatives by young audiences of Western New York to dedicate our digital platform to amplify the voices, stories, and lived experiences of the creative members of our community. This is an ongoing initiative to celebrate the gifts, voices, and legacy of these artists in Western New York. And I am joined here today by Thembi Duncan from Shays, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about some of the important work that she does with Shays and in our community. Welcome, Thembi.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Wonderful. So if you want to start just by introducing yourself, your role at Shays, as well as how you've partnered with young audiences in the past.
Sure, I'm Thembi Duncan, Director of Arts Engagement and Education at Shays Performing Arts Center, and I oversee all of our programming out in the community as well as in the schools and with local groups, pretty much things that are outside of the realm of performance on stage. As far as our partnership with young audiences, we have partnered with young audiences to bring more attention and awareness to our in-school programs, as well as some of the on-site programs that we do here that mostly use theater, but also some of the other art forms, visual art and literary art rather, to as a vessel, as a vehicle to learn other types of content, and also to expand people's understanding of any of the pieces that come on our stage, to connect better, to unpack issues that are brought about in shows that are on our stages, and also just to follow people's own individual learning goals. It's a lot of fun.
And Thembi, one of the things I really love about Shays and about your programming is you are, in a really creative way, actually bringing to life some of these challenging concepts in school curriculum, or having difficult conversations in a lens through the arts. To get people really engaged. And I know that you're a well-loved Arts Partners for Learning partner here with young audiences of Western New York. And we couldn't do and reach some of the amazing people in the community without the work that you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're really thrilled to be a part of that partnership. We're very excited to continue growing and developing. We're hopeful that the reflection that we've been able to have over the past year will lead to even new boundaries being broken and limitations being exceeded. So we're excited.
So speaking of this past year, we know it's been challenging for everybody. Can you talk, we've spoken about some of that silver lining that you can find in what's happening and in that growth moving forward. Can you talk a little bit about that for Shays and for some of the arts programming that you do in the community?
Sure. So on the performative level, we're mainly a presenting house, and so we have to depend upon the entire country and its connectivity to be able to bring tours through. And so, when we hear a lot of development saying, "Oh, there can be more people, there can be more, more shows with this amount of capacity," well, we need to be at nearly 100% capacity in order to financially be viable and feasible. And so for us, it's much more difficult to sort of try to come back from this challenge. Now, as far as what we're doing in the community, we have engaged in some virtual programming, and we've done so since last summer. We started off our summer camp season with a fully virtual set of 4 camps. That was really great. And it was we created 2 original musicals and then 2 other projects where students were able to explore world art forms, which is really exciting for us. And it was the first time we were doing that, as well as making short films of monologues that they performed. So we had a great opportunity to explore artistry with students as a way of processing what's happening around them, and as a way of also just artistically expressing themselves at a time when it was just very difficult and a lot of things were shut down. So we're really proud about that work. As time went on, we've looked at what we did, reflected, refined, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to be in person this summer for camps. We have gotten survey responses back from our families that say, "I'm ready to get my kids out here. My kids are ready. We're zoomed out. We've had enough." And we agree. We're ready to take all the precautions necessary and get folks into our space as soon as we possibly can and as soon as is allowed. So that's sort of the transition we've gone through over this past year. Again, as far as performances, we are dependent upon a larger ecosystem that's outside of our area. So that as soon as we know, that's when we'll share that information with others. But as far as engagement, we've been maintaining our connections, staying involved, just on a relationship level, even though we can't really do anything in person. Something interesting that we've been working on is a theater-based body language workshop that we started off doing with local professionals, and we ended up being able to do that with the Buffalo Police Department to great impact. And we're still developing metrics of impact for that, but we are in the process of refining that with the police department as a partner, and not so much sort of going in like, here's our approach and this is what we want to do, but really working in partnership with the police department and understanding their unique challenges and developing nonverbal language for them to continue to refine their approach to being stewards of our community and working with all members of our community. So we're really proud about that connection and the unique ways that we're using the arts to touch communities.
I think that's incredible. And what you just said is that the arts are so transformative, right? And they can kind of bridge those gaps. It'd be a vehicle for having those really challenging conversations, and opening up new insight into a way to better handle a situation. And the arts are such an incredible vehicle to do so. And I love that Shades as an organization has always gone and is continuing to go beyond the performances in the theater. Yes, those are important. We love seeing them. They bring so much warmth to all of our hearts, but you guys do so much more in the community, for our schools. This new partnership with the police department, it's just really incredible what you've been able to accomplish, even during these really challenging times of COVID and only through Zoom and all of that. So hats off to you guys for doing some amazing work.
Thank you. It's inspiring to us, and we get excited about it. We're working on more and more unique projects with different community partners, and just exploring where we can go with these things. One of my other favorite projects is one that we did with the Buffalo Urban League. Mm-hmm. They have a young adults group. It's called YOLO, and it's young people who are taking alternative routes to finishing high school. And often, and this is something that happens pretty much across the board with career development, a lot of times when folks are talking about careers, the careers in the arts don't really come up in the way that's like, fire person, banker, So for us, it's really exciting to say, hey, there are tons of careers that you can have in the arts that go beyond just performing on stage. And so for YOLO, we developed a design-focused program where they learned about aspects of scenic design, sound design, lighting design, and costume design with local Buffalo based designers. And they visited a couple of theaters in town, saw a show or two. So they're learning, hey, this is another avenue for you to go in terms of a career. And they created pieces of their own. And, we had projects for them to do where they were able to realize their own creativity in these areas. So that's something we love to do around town as well, is to show up at schools and events and talk about theater-based or just arts-based careers that expand everyone's horizons on what's possible.
And Thembi, I think that's one of the things that's really impressive about you as an individual too, is you are an artist, right? But you've also taken this other route that isn't necessarily a stage performer, but as an administrator, you're still having this huge, incredible impact on the community, and you're able to reach people and using your base as an artist to help influence those conversations and how you create that community impact.
Thank you. That's really important to me. And coming here to Buffalo from the Washington, D.C. area, where I had at that point spent over 15 years in the arts, mainly theater, as a director, a playwright, an actor, a producer, a dramaturg sometimes, just a little bit of everything all around that theater world, because I just wanted to spend my whole career in the field. And I've been blessed to be able to do that. But I absolutely was thrilled to come here because it was important to me to increase the scale of the impact that I could have. Creating work that is fleeting is very rewarding and very special in the moment, but when you know that you can create long-term initiatives that can impact people over a long period of time and really kind of hits with a strong meaning over the course of years, that is really exciting to me. And that's the next sort of a level of service to the community that I'm interested in fulfilling. So, but as you mentioned, the sensibilities that I've brought with me from that work that I've done in the past feed directly into the work that I do with creating opportunities for other people to share and exchange artistic experiences. So all of what I've done up to this moment informs the work that I do now.
That's awesome. And this month, as you know, it's Women's History Month, right? And one of the reasons we wanted to meet with you this month and share your story this month is because you are a powerful female leader in this community in the arts through your work as Shays, your work as an artist. So do you have any advice that you would give to a person of youth in the community that's looking for a career in the arts, whether it's in theater or arts administration?
The advice I would give to anyone who is curious and interested in pursuing a career in the arts is diversify. And so a lot of people use the word diversity as a way of bringing a variety of people with a variety of experiences and identities to the table in terms of, creating an organization or sort of entity or community. Absolutely. But when I say diversify, I mean specifically diversify the things that you explore, the things that you're interested in, the things that you know how to do. Because even if you are a stage performer, you're not always going to have a project to be involved in. Maybe you'll have 2 or 3 a year. Well, what do you do the rest of that time? You want to be able to always express yourself artistically, always read books in your chosen field. Know that this field has a broad and deep and robust and huge history, a history that comes from all corners of the world. So learn about other styles. Like right now, we are sort of inside of a box of Western theater, right? A certain type of storytelling, a certain style of character and way that we share stories. But there are so many traditions across the world that have been around for thousands of years that influence and continue to exist today. So I would say expose yourself to those things. We have the joys of technology now, right? So you can go on YouTube and see all kinds of things that you would have had to travel to distant lands to see. So that's what I would say. Learn as much as you can. Be a sponge, absorb all types of art forms, and then let those understandings and observations inform the work that you do. And give to other artists, support other artists, show up, when we can show up in person, but even now virtually, right? Show up to their events. Even if maybe there's a visual artist who makes prints and they've got prints for $10 each. Buy a print, support other artists, and be a part of that community. That's like a multi-layered piece of advice, but I just think those are all important things to do as a member of an artistic community.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about Buffalo too, right? We have such a robust artistic community. There's so many different avenues, so many different perspectives, and because Buffalo is such a diverse and rich community with new American populations, refugee populations, we have that right here in our backyard where we can learn from those individuals, from those cultures, from those communities. And it's such an incredible, beautiful opportunity in our community.
Agreed. I mean, I think one of the saddest parts to me about last summer being shut down was just that I didn't get a chance to go to all the different festivals and parades and get to see all of the different types of people that we have here and enjoy a variety of art forms, but not with me at the center, with other people at the center, and me being able to experience that as an observer and as a participant. And that was a sad thing that all of us didn't get to experience. And I'm really looking forward to what happens when we can all get back together.
Yeah, I am too. I cannot wait for that. And hopefully this summer, Shays will be able to have your in-person camps, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for you. But if all the reports are true, it looks like that is going to be able to happen for you guys. So we will keep our fingers crossed, but we're really excited for that opportunity.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers today?
Yeah, the one thing I would like to say is that the arts are everywhere. Look around you, stand anywhere in your world and just look around and think about how, things that you are looking at were either created by or reflected by artists, any direction you look, because it's going to be especially important moving forward for us to seek out ways to express ourselves and process the collective trauma that we've been through, and arts will be there for you. So look to the arts for that.
Yeah, the arts is an incredible vehicle. Thank you for sharing that, Thembi. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to link on our social media sites to Shay's, but if you guys have any questions for Thembi, you can put them in the comments for the video. But thank you again for joining us. And we look forward to having you all join us for our next Meet the Artist series.